Welcome back to Tabletop Saga. It's the last day of summer today, according to the weather forecast, and I've been in the garden, done all my chores, so it's time to sit back with a glass of refreshing brown liquid and to chat about Warhammer, the old world. Now, if you watched the last video, you'll be aware that on the 19th of October, I will be running a game of Warhammer the Old World as an event. I need to get a 1500 point army done for said event. A 1500 point Chaos army. And the only slight fly in the ointment is that I don't have a 1500 point Chaos army anywhere near done. In fact, all I have is some half finished Marauders. I've got just under a month to paint the army from start to finish. Yeah, I'm in a bit of bother. So I figured what might be quite fun is documenting this painting journey from start to finish and let you guys see it. I'll try and do a weekly update, I think, and just show you how I've been getting on. And the reason for this spiky wall in front of me is that I'm also creating terrain for said table. I want the board to look like an old white dwarf. And if you go back about 22 years to, I can't remember the edition, I'll put it up. When Hordes of Chaos was released for 6th edition Warhammer, the book that basically made me the man I am today, in that edition of White Dwarf, they crafted a whole load of chaotic terrain, and they had some spikes sticking out the ground. Spikes just like these. I have tried to craft what I saw in that White Dwarf to bring the old into the new. And it wasn't just me. Robin has helped me along the way, and as you can see, they're half done. They're actually lethal, so at the very least, they'll make people take care when playing the game. But so that's where we are with the terrain. I'm doing these. I'm also thinking in the same edition, there was some rock formations with a kind of, it was a bamboo skewer, I think, but it had little skulls on top of these sticks. I'm going to do some of those. And if I get time, I might even do a skull that had like a human-sized skull on a base, propped up with bamboo skewers, which just looked like a massive creature had died and sort of left its skull there. It just looked really cool. So I'll try and do that as well. But I obviously can't get too sidetracked down the terrain building route because I've got an army to paint. And that's what the purpose of this video is to do. To chat about what the plan is for the army. Because as you know, here at Tabletop Saga, we don't like chasing the meta or building a tournament list, something that's going to do really well on the table. It's about narrative, it's about theme. What's thematic for a Chaos army? That's what's going to be in this one. I actually think if you look at the Warriors of Chaos army list, there's not really that much variety. Certainly not like in the old days when you could chuck in demons as well, and demons from all marks if you had an undivided army, and you could have the most varied, incredibly cool looking armies. So it's not going to be like that. It's going to be stuff that's in the old world list now, but it should be pretty good. So what have I got? Well, I've got my Marauders that I'm currently working on. I've got quite a lot of Warriors, actually. I managed to buy, stupidly inflated prices, but I managed to buy a box of Chaos Warriors on eBay. And annoyingly, about 2-3 weeks after these arrived, they announced that they were doing Warriors of Chaos again. So I didn't need to do that, but there we are. It is what it is. So I've got 12 in there. I bought another however many that were sort of painted eBay rescue types. So I'm working on those. So I should have enough for a regiment of 16. Then I've got a box of the plastic Marauder Horsemen, which will give me 2 units of 5. I bought some Chaos Warhounds, so again I'll have 2 units of 5. I got some Chaos Knights. Now, I got the proper Chaos Knights, the Brian Nelson ones from 6th edition. I found some on eBay. They are another eBay rescue, but they are so nice. So I'm going to really enjoy painting those. And I've also got a chariot. I went for the new plastic chariot because actually the old one from 6th edition well, actually, I think it's from even earlier than that. It didn't really hold up that well. I feel like the new one is actually a lot nicer. So I've gone for the new one. What else have I got? I've got the Aspiring Champion on foot. You know the old one with 2 axes? He's another one that I bought on eBay months and months ago, for a vastly inflated price. And if I've just held on, I could have bought him off Games Workshop for half the price I paid. So yeah, I haven't made the best financial decisions this year. It's true to say. Patience is a virtue and all that. So I've got all those, and I obviously need someone to lead the army. So the idea is I want to make the army thematic, right? So Border Patrol is obviously something we're going to do on the channel. And I wrote a 500 point list that was just Marauders. So Marauder Horsemen, Marauders on foot, and then my Aspiring Champion on foot. Because I like the idea of it being a raiding force. So I want to start my character there. He's just become a champion. He has got his Chaos armor and he's now leading his tribesmen off to pillage and plunder and to make a name for himself and get himself elevated in the ranks of Chaos and Mighty Warhost. For this game, obviously, I'm going to have to skip forward in the timeline. He's amassed a fairly mighty Warhost. So what to do? Well, for me, there's only one miniature truly worthy of the title of Lord of Chaos. Archon, Lord of the End Times. And not the one on the plastic with the 3-headed flying thing. The proper one, the metal one, on a demonic horse. So I found him on eBay, and I'm not going to say how much I paid because it was silly, but I found him on eBay. I own him. He will be my general. So it will be him. I have 6 Chaos Knights. So he's going to be there in the middle of a unit of 6 Chaos Knights. That's going to be his personal bodyguard. They're going to be the spearhead of the army, and they're going to smash through anything in their way, is the plan. So the good thing about Chaos is that actually it's quite an elite army. You could chuck a load of points into your characters and eat up those points so you have less to paint. So there's a Sorcerer too. I don't know if you know the one that's got the kind of tentacle hand holding a staff, hooded, painted in purple back in the day. I have him too. But this is just an intro to what I'm doing. And in the next video, I'll talk you through some of the painting I've done. I've made certain choices to try and speed the process up, but without losing quality. So we will have a look at that in the next video and see what progress I've made. And now, suffice it to say, I'm halfway through a unit of Marauders. So I've got a lot to do in 4 weeks.